Welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. In this episode, I'm going to detail an incident involving the Avenue Pirus deemed a Craglist murder. Markel aka Fo Much and Ryan aka Casper, both members of the Avenue Pirus in Inglewood, have been setting up and robbing people on several different occasions. They would use Craglist to find victims, then set up meetings and rob the people they met up with. They did this all 2013. On October 19th, 2013, Markel and Ryan were in contact with a man named Renee and his 15-year-old son. Renee was interested in the ad that Markel and Ryan posted about a $300 Samsung Galaxy cell phone. They would then agree to meet up. Renee drove to the meeting location near the block of South Gramercy Place in Gramercy Park. The father and son were then ambushed. Markel and Ryan demanded money from Renee, and Markel, who was 18 at the time, jumped into the back seat of the car. He then pointed a gun at Renee's 15-year-old son. Renee got out of the car and was allegedly shot by Ryan, who was 17 at the time. Renee's 15-year-old son was also hit by the gunfire before Ryan and Markel fled on foot. Renee was taken to a hospital with 3 gunshot wounds to his chest. He would later die from his wounds. His son would later be released and didn't die from his injuries. Detectives arrested Ryan and Markel a week after the shooting, after discovering that the same Craigslist ad had been used in other robberies. The victims in those incidents gave descriptions that matched Ryan and Markel.
A big break in the case of the Craigslist murder. 2 men arrested, and tonight the victim's daughter breaks down as she thanks the men who caught her father's accused killers. The 41-year-old father was gunned down as he was trying to buy a cell phone that was advertised on Craigslist.
NBC4's Patrick Healy has much more now from South Los Angeles. Patrick, these arrests come less than, 10 days after the murder?
Exactly, Chuck and Colleen. And detectives told us the break in the case came when they discovered a link to a string of robberies, similar robberies, that used Craigslist cell phone postings as the bait. But then a week ago Saturday, it became a homicide. The intended victim shot to death in front of his own son.
In the court proceedings, the prosecutor broke down Markel and Ryan's crime spree. They would say that the bait was a Samsung phone that they advertised on Craigslist. They would say that they set the price just low enough to reel in the buyer. Then they directed the buyer to a quiet location where Ryan and Markel allegedly moved in, took cash, and other valuables at gunpoint. The prosecutor said that the duo's level of violence escalated in 2 previous robberies. Multiple victims testified that they were robbed by the duo in the same way. The jury deliberated for 3 days before acquitting Ryan of first-degree murder and the second-degree murder in the October 19th, 2013 shooting death of Renee and the attempted murder of his son and a robbery. The jury also deadlocked on 2 robbery counts charging against Ryan for an unrelated case. Ryan's defense won him the case, stating he was not a gang member and that his alibi was him working at McDonald's at the time of the shooting. The defense also raised questions about the victim's ability to identify Ryan. One man who testified could not point Ryan out in the courtroom as one of the robbers, so Ryan walked free.
We have more breaking news. A verdict in a murder trial. 19-year-old Ryan Roth was found not guilty of killing a man who went with his teenage son to South LA to purchase a cell phone advertised on Craigslist. Eyewitness News reporter Melissa McBride is live at the courthouse with the details. Melissa?
The jury deliberated for 3 days and deadlocked on 2 charges of robbery, but the jury did find him not guilty on the most serious charges.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Ryan Cetrus Michael Roth, not guilty of the crime of first-degree murder of Renee Balbuena.
The jury also found Ryan Roth not guilty of second-degree murder, attempted murder, and second-degree robbery. Prosecutors had argued Roth and his co-defendant, Markel Thomas, robbed and killed a Southgate man, Renee Balbuena. That was back in October of 2013. Balbuena and his son went to South LA to buy a cell phone they saw advertised on Craigslist. Police at the time said that Balbuena was shot when he got out of the car and the suspects fled. Now, Thomas did not stand trial. He reached a plea deal and will be sentenced on October 1st. Again, Ryan Roth has been found not guilty of the most serious charges, including first-degree murder. Reporting live in downtown LA at the courthouse, I'm Melissa McBride, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Melissa, thank you.
But Markel wasn't so lucky. He agreed to testify against Ryan, but he still received 26 years and is in prison serving his sentence. He went up for parole in 2024, but was denied parole. Even though he was initially acquitted, Ryan will later be sentenced to 19 years. This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, check out my previous episodes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.